Here we have the new 2024 Jeep Wrangler. This one comes in the Sport S trim level in Earl clear coat paint. And then we have black cloth interior. The powertrain consists of a 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine, and that's mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission. And then this one has the optional hard top, which I think makes a huge difference as opposed to having that soft top. But as we get around to the front end here, halogen headlamps, halogen fog lights, and of course, those are pretty easily upgradable if you just want to swap out the bulbs. But if you come around to the wheels here, these are 17-inch aluminum. And we do get passive keyless entry on the front. And I like that we have the power mirror controls and power door locks on the doors here. So you can pick a side and adjust with the dial, and then unlock, lock. Nice matte pocket on the side. And then we have our headlamp controls here. That's low beams, and we can toggle the fog lights there. And then that's the auto mode. We can adjust the gauge cluster brightness there. Manual tilt telescoping steering wheel. And there's our manual driver's seat. So we can pump the seat up and down there. We have manual lumbar support there. And then we can control that manual seat back using that strap. But huge shout out to Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram of Franklin here in Franklin, Tennessee for allowing me to review this Wrangler today. I'll leave a link below to it in the description. Let's check out this rear legroom with the 4-door. So pretty decent room, honestly. I wasn't expecting this, but I have that seat up front adjusted for someone of my size, being 6'3", with longer legs. And of course, with the hard top there, you have a little additional headroom, which helps. But seat back pockets are on both sides, and then our vents are there. Now, if you want to control the power windows from the back, there are the levers for that, and then 2 bottle holders down there. So I mean, pretty spacious for a Wrangler in my opinion back here. Now the door entry is still not huge, but you know, it is what it is. Now here we just have the cap right there on the side, no cover or anything. And then coming around to the back end, we do get those incandescent tail lamps, and then the spare on the back right here. And there's your backup camera right in there. Let's go ahead and open this lift gate. Just pull there, pull this up. And then actually pretty spacious here in my opinion. There's a 12-volt. And then to close everything up, just go in reverse. Put that glass down. Fold that back. Now as we come around to the rear passenger side, if you want additional space here, all you have to do, pull that, and it folds right flat into the floor, almost like the Pacifica. I actually like how that goes down, because they used to not do that. You used to have to do a bunch of crazy stuff to get the seat flat, but I'm glad they've made that easier. And then for this seat here, we just have seat back manually adjust and seat bottom manually adjust. We can't pump it up or down or use the lumbar support, but that's all right. Then a lockable glove compartment here. And then a quick look at the window sticker. You all can pause anywhere you need to. And I like how this one is optioned out. With the convenience group, I think it's a big help. And then the fuel economy actually isn't too bad either. Let's go ahead and take a look under the hood. And y'all have to bear with me for a minute. So you do that, and then go underneath here, pull that right there. And there's that 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder. And what I like about these is it's easy to close them back up too. So just hold that down. You don't have to worry about slamming the hood or anything. Let's go ahead and hop in the driver's seat. So leather wrap steering wheel here, pretty nice. Now, one of the coolest things about the newer Wranglers is you do get this new system here. This is a 12.3-inch screen, so that allows you to get AM, FM, XM radio, and then you also have Bluetooth audio, USB, you can use Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. You also have an aux input as well. Dual zone automatic climate controls are here. You can adjust temperature. You have buttons and knobs down below, and I'll show you that here in a moment. And then we can adjust the fan speed here, auto mode, and then we can turn that on and off, which I love. And then again, all the controls are down here. Heated steering wheel toggle is right there, and then you have 3-stage heated front seats. And then over here to connect the phone, pretty easy to do. Just start looking for it on your phone, and then all of your vehicle settings are in here. So under my profile, you can go ahead and change the language if you want to. You can go ahead and change the display mode, the units, that theme mode as well, from light to dark or to auto. And then the units are here for speed, distance, pressure, for the tires, and temperature as well. And then your safety driving assistance, clock date. Just gonna run through all these options. And hopefully y'all can pause anywhere you need to. In the audio settings, just go in there. You can go through your balance fade, EQ, and then your speed adjusted volume. But here we have all of our apps in each category. So you can scroll through all of that there. Now, backup camera, pretty good picture in my opinion. And then I like how it has that kind of side view there, just saying G, that's pretty neat. But down here, again, the AC controls volume here. You can click that to turn the screen off, which also turns the audio off. And you have a tune knob here. You can click this, and I like that you can actually click through the air distribution as opposed to clicking that and then having to go through the screen. Hazards are there. And then we have our select speed there when we're in 4-wheel drive. And then auto stop toggle, traction control, mute, turn that screen on and off there. And then we do have express down for the driver and front passenger windows and regular power windows for the back, 12-volt. USB-C, USB-A duo, and an aux input there. Little storage pocket there. And then of course we can shift our 4-wheel drive manually there. And then for our 8-speed, pull the lever, reverse neutral drive, come over here, and you can manually shift there. Parking brake is there. 2 more bottle holders, little storage pocket for your phone. And then we have our top tray there, and our bottom tray for the center console cubby space. Then we have a USB-A port in there as well. And then up here, you can go through all the motions to take that hard top off. So it can be a tedious process, but it's worth it in my opinion, because it's so much fun to drive these with the top and the doors off, excuse me. But there's a look at the back seat. And then over here to the steering wheel, we can go through our radio stations, track lists, all of that. The knobs behind on the left side, and then our volume controls behind on the right side. Blinkers are here, and then we can toggle the high beams on and off, flash there. And then windshield wiper controls are here, so we just have this knob here, intermittent, then we have low, high, and then we have our rear wiper here. So we have intermittent on, then off, and then pull back for that rear wiper fluid, push up for that front wiper fluid. And then over here, we can go through our gauge cluster using these 4 arrows and the OK button. Tons of info in there depending on what you want to see. So tire pressure monitors under vehicle info, and you have trans temp, oil temp, etc. And then Bluetooth controls here, voice recognition. Over here, we have our cruise controls, and we also get the adaptive cruise here, so we can toggle that, and we can adjust the gap down and up there, and then we can go to regular cruise there and adjust that. And there's the horn. Push button start. Finally, here's the key fob with remote start. And next, let's go ahead and take this 2024 Wrangler Sport out on the road for a test drive. So starting the test drive in this Wrangler Sport S, I'm kind of glad I'm doing this one because I just drove a Bronco two-door yesterday, and I'm kind of fresh on how the cabin sounds in that with the hardtop, and I want to compare it to the hardtop in this Wrangler here. And something tells me this will be a little less noisy. But we'll just have to see. I do like the driving dynamics of this though, because it just drives so... It's so interesting how this thing drives. It just drives like something that's ready to be taken off-road and pushed to the fullest extent. Like the steering is crazy, how you can feel everything. And from an off-road standpoint, that's what you want, to be able to feel the road. And this is still, so far, a comfortable ride here. And I think that's why a lot of people drive Jeeps, because they want something that they can take on trails, they can take off-road, but they don't have to have a second car to drive back and forth to work. They can still use this as a daily driver. Still not the most practical, but if you're not doing too much, then it probably works out, as opposed to buying a whole other vehicle and then you just have this to go off-road in. So it's kind of not the best of both worlds, but still both worlds. Now with the 2-liter turbo, I prefer this engine choice just because I'm more of a street driver, and I like having turbo pull for, let's say, muddy terrains. I'm not a big fan of, you know, taking like borderline rock climbing trails, but even with the 2-liter there, I still think this will be enough. There's a reason that they put this in here, but a lot of people will say the 3.6 is just a better way to go, having that naturally aspirated V6. But me personally, I think the 2-liter turbo is just enough. I think it saves you a bit of money, and again, to me, it's just more fun to drive having a turbocharger. But definitely for daily driving, I feel like this would be the engine of choice for me, because it's quick, it's more fuel efficient, and again, it just, you put your pedal to the floor, it's a little more fun feeling that boost. Even if the V6 may be a little faster on paper. And what's crazy is just driving around town here, it's a lot quieter than I was expecting. So we'll give it a little throttle here. And again, that turbocharger just makes it feel so much quicker than it probably is. It's just fun to put your foot down with it though, and it sounds so good. I love the blow-off valve sound. But I'm gonna use the adaptive cruise now. And I think it's an interesting choice to put adaptive cruise in something like a Jeep, because this is the last thing you would expect to have these kind of safety convenience features. But I will say, it is nice. Now on the interstate here, I will say I feel the Bronco two-door that I drove was more acoustically sound than this is, and that surprises me. But I feel like the wind noise gets in here just a tad bit more than in the two-door Bronco. Again, you get a soft top and the Bronco is freaking loud. But that hardtop actually was a lot more insulated comparing it to the hardtop in this Wrangler. But I mean, this is definitely about 20 grand cheaper than a Bronco right now, because those are still bringing crazy money. But I like this Wrangler. I feel like I like the Bronco just a bit more, just for the looks, especially since I drove a fully loaded one the other day. But still, the Wrangler has a lot more experience just in terms of being an off-road vehicle, staying around longer. And, you know, Chrysler's had more time to work out the kinks on this vehicle, even if there really hasn't been much done to it over the years. But still, a super fun SUV to drive off-road. And this will bring me to the end of my review of this 2024 Jeep Wrangler Sport S.